Well, this is it. We are so thrilled that you have joined us for this season of Sanditon. We are now on our final episode. And like last season, it's going to be a bumpy ride, I'm afraid.
Yes.
No happily ever after yet for our
yet
Charlotte and Cole.
For this poor chap blowing in the wind here.
No, I'm sorry, dear. He's resting on my shoulder. He's
Yes.
tired. It's late.
Yes.
I don't blame you, dear. Now, this episode begins with a picture of a trunk. And as we see later, it is Sydney's trunk, right? Mm-hmm. And we get to see Tom and Arthur go through the contents, which I thought was funny because I thought, where is the wife in all
Wouldn't
this?
his possessions have gone to the wife? And then when
Did anyone else think that?
And then when he sees the signet ring,
The ring, the card, the letter.
Sydney's ring, and then Arthur's like, Tom, he would have wanted you to have it. What about the wife? I'm sorry, if my husband died and his ring got sent back, I don't think I'd be very happy if he just gave it to his brother.
No, I mean, he probably didn't care if she got it, but she would have cared, I think. You know what I mean?
Probably
she didn't
would
know
have.
that he didn't love her.
Oh, I just stuck my knee up and exposed my bare knee. Now everyone knows I'm wearing shorts.
Oh dear, that was very tacky.
Don't
let that
so
happen
sorry.
again.
It's like this is an episode of Bridgerton or something. Oh dear.
Well, anyway, I thought that was ridiculous because I think in real life the trunk would have gone to the wife.
I agree.
I don't know. I'm just saying. But a lot of fans were
He
also
addressed it to Tom.
Yeah.
Or someone did.
Well, a lot of fans were also upset that there wasn't a letter for Charlotte, but of course there could not have been a letter
Look,
for
it
Charlotte.
would have opened all the old wounds. It would have just been way
For
too
us,
painful.
for her.
Yes, she has already begun to move on. There's
Yeah, we're
no
trying.
way.
We're trying. We've already
No,
had a kiss with the new guy.
That would have been wrong of Sydney to push himself upon her when he was in no position to offer her anything and he was dying. I mean, what was he going to do?
No. But did you notice the letter tells Tom to keep taking risks? Ha! I would have told him to, shape up and be a better man.
Well, after what he did to Sydney,
Keep being your good old self.
How he put all the money, lost all the money, and
ruining
took
everyone's
all the
lives.
risks for this and ruined Sydney's life. Sydney's going to tell him, keep right up.
I thought that was a way for the script to keep us happy with Tom.
Yes.
Because we're all, a lot of us probably can't stand him.
I've literally run out of patience with Tom. He's just so disagreeable to me.
He makes the same mistakes over and over.
Yes, we keep saying he's learned nothing.
Which is just what his wife said. Exactly.
It's just what he's, And
I just thought the letter would have called him to be better. Please try to be better. Try to be the man that the family needs.
Yes.
So instead of go on in the same way you were going, which led to a lot of heartbroken
bad
people and death.
decisions.
Anyway, the letter also tells about the evil Lockhart, right? So Tom and
Yes,
Arthur and Mary.
the evil man from Antigua is exposed, and his name is dun dun dun.
Yeah. Lockhart.
Was that a surprise to
No.
you? No. Well, I had already said I thought it was Lockhart.
It wasn't a surprise for sure to you. You knew from episode 1.
When they said he doesn't have a name, we haven't found out his name yet. That's when I knew. I was like, oh please.
Yes,
of course the name is going to come out and it's going to be him.
Right. Well, Tom, Arthur,
but
and Mary.
It was good. I liked it.
Yeah. They run off and they save Georgiana
they
just in the nick of time.
She was about to leave. She had a suitcase in her hand. She had already put the notes out for everyone, the goodbye letters. Thank goodness. I was going to say thank God.
That scoundrel. Ooh,
yes.
I'm so glad at least they stopped that.
Yes.
Well, Tom and Arthur also go after Lennox in this episode, and they play a game of chance. And I thought it was stupid and foolish. Thank God he won.
I agree. He didn't
Once again, more of the same.
He didn't even look at his cards. And he kept saying, hit. What?
I mean, maybe it would have used some skill. It would have made a little more sense to me.
A little bit.
Complete luck.
Sheer dumb luck, as Madame McGonagall would say. I mean, that was a bit much.
Exactly.
Now, wait, are we going to... I haven't discussed this episode with you. Are we going to... I can't speak. Are we going to discuss the actual confrontation between Georgiana and Lockhart? Or was that it?
No, we're not.
I wanted to say one thing about it.
All right, go for it.
Because people were wondering, did he fall in love with her, even though his plan in the beginning was to take her money? And I say no. After what he said about her, how he was so degrading to her and said all those terrible things about her and her
He fell in love with her money.
History. That's all he wanted. And he was still making fun of the family, you want to stay with the nincompoops, basically, whatever he said.
Yeah.
He's like, we can still go away, please.
Even
he
if
was
he did
a terrible scoundrel.
Too bad.
Yes.
After it wouldn't have changed anything for me anyway.
No, and I'm so glad
that was a very good point. I'm glad you touched on that, dear.
Yes.
Would y'all believe we haven't even talked about this script
together?
No,
so we've not gone over the script.
Get ready.
I don't know what she's got in here.
Fingers crossed.
Hopefully
It's almost 10 o'clock. It's our last night of filming. Lord, help us get through this.
Yes.
Now, something else we learned from the letter is that Georgiana's mother is alive.
Yes, which was shocking.
So, of course, we're going to see more of that next next season.
There's going to have to be some details because I'm thinking, I thought the father and the mother and he loved her so much. Where was she?
That's going to be a major plot line.
That's going to be huge.
Season, obviously.
Yes.
Right? Well, Charlotte has now seen Lennox's true colors in the last episode, right?
We already threw him away.
As we said, soldiers are not to be trusted.
Exactly.
We said that in episode 1.
Listen, I said from day 1, I said now, every time Jane Austen has had an officer, except for Colonel Brandon, they have all been scoundrels.
When they're with a bunch of other officers, they're normally...
Yes, Colonel Brandon is reformed, and he was a good chap. But anyway, I just, didn't think
she tells...
I can't help you,
Georgiana and somebody... Oh, wait.
What are you...
Now I've lost my place. Oh, she tells them...
Oh, dear.
She tells them that...
Who's she?
Charlotte tells them that actually, Colburn isn't so bad.
Oh.
You know, because she's just had the kiss with him,
Yes.
right? And Allison also realizes her true feelings for Fraser.
Yes.
So it's like the three girls are talking, and at the same time, they're all realizing, And Georgiana's got her man, so she's happy about that, right?
She does?
So it's nice here.
Wait.
Well, this is before they've run him off.
Okay, sorry.
I'm not going in order this time. I'm just getting
too
it
much
all
jumping
out there.
around.
Yes,
I see.
So at this point, they're all talking about their loves, basically, and they're all realizing, of kind of who they love, right?
Yes.
And Charlotte's like,
They all have
Colburn's not
somebody.
bad. And Allison's going, why didn't I see this before? And Georgiana's, a new type of passion. So they've all got their men, and Fraser, in fact, shows up at the door, but he can't quite spit out the words, right?
And I was a little disappointed here, because after all of this, after their dance, after, everything, I mean, just go for the gold!
Yes,
and
but he hands her a book instead.
Yes, well, he hands her a package and says, don't open it, it's a present.
Right,
And
knowing that what it says inside of it. So
well, it's
he wants to say it,
it's his
but he
book
can't.
of poems. All the poems that were used.
Right, but
in
it's
the
also
letters.
that poem written to her that basically tells her his feelings.
Oh, it was?
Yes! Did you forget that, Dan?
Yes, I forgot
Yes,
it.
it is, but he doesn't. He was going to say it, but he couldn't, so he says, take the book instead and read it when you get there.
Oh, what a fool.
Of course,
By that point, it'll be too late.
Oh, I know.
What was he thinking?
Men. This stupid. Now, also in this episode,
Men.
Clara confesses all the horrible things they have been doing to Esther.
Yes, she confessed. She can't take... They're about to get married. They're at their, wedding breakfast.
Yeah.
They're about to get married.
Yes.
And she's just like, I can't do it, because
Which
he's about
is
to throw her
great,
some more. She goes,
because she has finally changed into a better person.
Girl power. She's changed.
And they're like sisters. I mean,
they've
they're
become
so
close.
sweet.
Even when she says, I'm so sorry, I've let this happen.
Doesn't she almost
and she's
cradle her head or pet
she's
her
like,
hair?
it's not your fault. You were under his power. She knows the kind of power that Edward has, and that put her under.
Yes, and thank goodness he's kicked to the curb.
Thank God.
So of course I have to eat my words. I was wrong about. Remember at the very episode I said Edward's going to sleep with Esther, and that's how she'll have a baby.
And I said no, she would never be untrue to Babbage.
You were right, but this was much better.
Yes,
right?
much
because,
better.
I mean, we know what's going to happen. She ends up leaving her the baby, and it's beautiful. And I feel like it worked out for everybody. I know it's horrible. I mean, she had to leave her baby, but she did the right thing for that child.
I think she did. I was confused a little bit at time, because at the beginning I was like, oh, she's definitely gonna leave the baby, because she was not picking it up, not caring about it.
Right.
Oh, could somebody please make that thing be quiet?
Yes.
But then when Esther was saying, oh,
and she had the
and
relationship,
she
bond
started
with the baby.
and you could see her starting to form a bond with her child, and she was like, you're right, this is special. So, it was a sacrifice for her too.
Which made it all the more special. It was
Sacrifice,
because she loved that child that she ended up
and she
doing
knew
what
that she
did.
had nothing. She was going nowhere.
Whereas
had no
before
one.
it was almost like using the child to get what they wanted, right? The money.
Which at the same time I was shocked a little bit, because she's just given away Edward's baby and is Edward going to come back and be like, you've given away my baby? I don't.
You think that'll be bad?
I don't know. I don't think. Honestly, he's such a piece of garbage that I can't see him even really caring about the baby. The only reason he wanted to marry her and to be with the baby was to get the baby's inheritance, because he wanted to take the money that he thought they were going to bestow upon the baby.
We'll see if he tries to come back.
He did look and say, my son, so I don't know.
I wouldn't shut that door completely.
No. Well, and he's not off the show. I think people have said Clara and Esther's story are done.
Okay.
But, Lady D tells him, you're going to stay here and reform. I'm going to reform you.
Right. So we may not have heard the last
We may not have heard the last
Well,
of
on
him.
to our
That
lovers.
rogue.
Charlotte goes to work, and Colburn is petting his dog. We have a nice little dog.
Back to work. Nothing has changed.
A nice little Darcy moment, right? Doesn't Darcy have a dog that he likes? Well, anyway, he and Charlotte go for a walk, and he apologizes a little bit, and then he grabs her for the second kiss. Now, once again, we have no proposal.
This was the kiss, really, to me, that was, really clumsy.
This was where you were like,
really schoolboy,
no can do.
I'm going to kiss her. It was like, whoa,
well, maybe it was just
cool your jets.
Maybe it was just his passions taking over,
But to me, it didn't seem like the passions. To me, it just seemed like, whoa, calm down, easy, tiger.
Well,
and I think she was like, whoa, you know, I mean, I'm sure she liked it in a
she
sense,
seemed
but
taken back.
yeah, she was shocked. And to me, again,
It lacked finesse, I guess, for you.
To me, again, I say, once he's kissed her and made out with on the couch, we don't know what was said after that. He should have proposed before kissing her again.
Yes, yes. Well, is it interesting that she said in this scene before he kissed her that she has known betrayal?
That was a very interesting moment.
Done for me. I was like,
she never acted like Sydney had betrayed her before.
In season 1.
No.
I think the
and
writers,
even up until now,
the writers did that on purpose.
I think they did.
To
help us move on and act like, Sydney betrayed her.
Which is what a lot of viewers hated Sydney from the beginning. They said, yeah, he betrayed her, so they'll be fine with that. But I don't think
they understood the story. But it gives them something to bond about.
Yeah.
Also, you know,
right.
like,
we've both been burned.
Yeah,
you know?
right. Second time around.
Whereas I didn't feel like she was burned by him. We all know what happened.
Look, we remember. She taught him to be a better man. She, you know, wanted him to do what was right and to care about other people and to care about Tom.
Even Mary says, right? Sydney sacrificed for you, right? Mary didn't say, Sydney was a jerk and you know, ditched her.
Exactly. Because she knew
Mary
it was, and for her too, you know, it was Tom's folly that made him have to sacrifice.
Right.
Yes, it was his fault. But
well,
anyway.
This kiss is interrupted because Leo has gone missing, right?
Yes.
And she has gone to Lennox.
Yes, and some people say perhaps he was going to propose while they were in the arbor.
Okay.
After the kiss.
That's a good thought.
But I still say he should have done it before the second kiss.
Well, he was going to do it right then and there.
Was he?
I'm sure he was.
Why didn't he just do it
give
before
him
he
the
kissed her?
benefit of the doubt?
Oh, Coburn!
All right, so anyway, she's gone to the little girl. Leo has gone to Lennox.
Missing.
And he denies her.
But that's what we forgot to mention in our last episode. What? We forgot to mention when he was sharing the story of him and his his dead wife, that poor little Leo was eavesdropping.
No, I said it.
You
didn't hear me.
Oh my gosh.
I just gave it a little one-liner and I said, and we know that Leo overheard all this. I did. I got it in there.
How was I? Where was I?
Oh dear.
I must have been on a cloud thinking about something else.
You were rambling about something, dear.
Oh dear.
It's all right. I did stick it in there. If all of you
I'm so
viewers
sorry.
heard it. Yes, I did.
All right.
I
So
did.
Leo overheard.
Leo overheard. She has now gone to see her real father.
She thinks Lennox was a father.
Right.
And she confronts him.
He denies her.
Well, but it's a very interesting moment for me too, because up until this point, I've hated Lennox. And for one little shred of emotion came out, and he started to quiver, and he got a little emotional when he was like, how old are you? And he realized it was his child. And it was good acting on his part, because he got a little bit emotional, was like, no, you're not like, you know.
Do you think he did the right thing?
Yes. He did the right thing because he's in no position to have a child. He's not had any relationship. He knows she's better off. Yeah. This is the man she's always seen as her father, and this is what's right for her. And so he did the right thing for her. I think also for himself.
I was going to say, didn't you think he did a little for himself though too? He's
100%.
a selfish person. He's
100%.
not a great guy.
However, I do think I like that he did show a little bit of emotion, because he was like, because he did like Lucy a little bit,
right?
But then he did dump her, right? He didn't like her that much, but you know.
Yeah. But I think anytime you're confronted with your child, you're probably going to have a little bit of emotion, right?
This is my
child.
That's what I would think. Yes.
Well.
And it was really sweet how after the fact.
Yes.
Are you going to talk about that?
I was just going to say.
Yes. It was really sweet.
Coburn and Leo have a very touching.
She said, "I'm glad it was you. I was. I didn't want to think that you weren't my father."
Yes.
And that was sweet.
Coburn
and he's like, "I'll always, I'm your father."
Yes.
Like.
And Charlotte's looking and once again thinking, "Hey,
she's admiring him.
I like this guy, right?"
Yes.
But here,
then he ruins it. If he had just left, everything would have been hunky dory.
This scene is where Lennox plants the doubt in Colburn's mind.
Well,
right?
Colburn had to go back. He turned around. I want one more word. Oh, and then they held hands. Did you notice that? For a split second, they held hands. Charlotte and Colburn.
Did they?
He's like, "I'm gonna go. Will you take her home?" And they held hands for just a split second.
All right, I gotta go back and watch that.
And that was cute.
I missed that.
That was a special
I
moment.
see that. See, this is why we work so well together.
Yes.
Well, anyway.
Well, he had to go back, which I wish he just hadn't.
Yes.
And he's walked away so many times from a confrontation. Why does he choose now?
Right.
But part of it was, I think, to say thank you. Part of it was to kind of make sure, like, you're gonna be done with this, right?
Yep.
So I think he felt like he needed to just kind of tie up those loose ends.
Right. Yes. Well, he goes back, and of course, this is where we see the seed of doubt planted in Colburn's mind, right? Because he's basically said, "You're gonna ruin this girl, just like you did the other one."
And he said it's obvious that Charlotte's in love with you.
Yeah.
So that was big. And I think even Colburn was kind of like, oh.
Yeah.
Because, like you say, guys are kind of clueless. Sometimes they
Right,
don't know. You could be
right.
throwing yourself at them, and they're just like, "You like me?" And you're like, "Oh my gosh, what do I have to do?"
So
You know.
but I think that makes him take it all the more seriously. Like,
Yes.
she likes me, and he's right. I'm going to ruin her, type of thing. You know. So
Which
then he
again-
goes and dumps her.
Which again to me plants a seed of doubt in my mind as to what did he do to Lucy? What is the problem?
Right.
Why
Once
can't
again,
he keep her happy?
they have not
Why is
told
there
us.
so much doubt that he's going to be able to keep a wife happy?
We don't know. But he goes to her. He says it was deeply inappropriate. I see it only with
And I
regret
took,
and
you know, I
shame.
took advantage. That was huge.
Is that
She's
all
like,
I am to
she
you
was
as a
like,
member of the
well, I mean,
staff?
and she said like, don't act like I wasn't a willing party. Like, what, you know, what's the deal? And don't you feel anything? And he's like, all I feel is shame and regret. That was huge to me. Because not only was he like, look, it's wrong. I took advantage of my position. You're my employer. I get it. That I can get. He's being honorable. Look, I took my power, my position of power, and maybe I took advantage, and I shouldn't have done it while you were still my governess. You were my employee, right? That's a little bit shady.
That's for shady.
I get it.
And regret that he did it.
But I feel nothing but shame and regret. No love. Nothing for you. To me, I felt like, and that's why Charlotte was tipped, because he's like, I don't feel anything for you.
You're right.
That last night was a mistake. That whole big thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's what it was. And then you're just like,
yes.
I'm
She's
mortified,
there
like,
crying.
and she's completely humiliated, and she's just completely mortified.
Oh,
and
you're making it even worse. You're right.
That's why I was so mad.
Yeah.
That's how I took it.
You're right. Well, then Augusta tells him, Charlotte leaves. Augusta tells him to go
Charlotte
after
leaves.
her, which he does, but he bumbles it again.
Yeah.
And once again,
Well,
Charlotte
was he
is
going to
left.
go after her? Or was Augusta the only one to make him? Would he have done it?
Once again.
Grow a pair, dude!
Once again,
I don't think he would have gone after her if it weren't for her.
Really?
I just don't know. I mean, he was like, she's gone. It's like, it's for the best, you know.
Ouch.
I mean, he had just dumped her. But again, he goes back and he thinks about things, or maybe she's right.
It's like it took a girl pushing him, like, get on your horse and
come
go
on.
after her. Come on.
That's what I didn't like.
Shame.
He's got to get some gumption, and he's got to stand up.
Anyway, he goes, he bumbles it again. Charlotte's left heartbroken and basically says enough already.
But I've got to talk about it. I know we have to hurry up.
Honey,
but listen,
we got
when he goes to her, again, he doesn't say, Charlotte, I made a mistake. I'm in love with you. I'm sorry. Like, if he's gone back, that's what it's for,
he's
right?
Obviously bumbling.
And he
He's
says,
having a hard time.
He says he went back, and in his mind, he had to make, as an actor, he had to make a decision. Was I going to propose, or was I not? He said, I made the decision that I was going to propose.
Yes.
So, to me, again, it's just like we say, like,
he starts off. He says, in fact, I was going to ask you. He says some stuff, and then, in fact, I was going to ask you, and that's where she cuts him off.
But he doesn't start out with that. He starts out with the
Yeah,
house,
everybody
the
wanted
girls,
the girls,
everybody
the
misses you.
house.
Again, that's not what she needs to hear.
excuse.
You just said it was a mistake. You dumped her. You fired her.
Right. Well, we
Lead
know
with.
he should have come in and said, I was a fool. I love you, and I want to ask you to be my wife. Of course.
But you know they didn't write that because there'd be no season 3.
Yes, exactly.
It would have been
well,
over.
And we'd have no, I mean, that's how it always is. Same thing with Darcy, right? He didn't just tell
That's
her,
how it always is.
He messed it up. They got to mess it up a few times.
Yes, I know. I just wish they wouldn't keep giving her fixer-uppers.
No, I know. She
Give us
says
enough.
enough.
Yes.
That was heartbreaking. She had great emotion there. She was crying. She said enough. And we're like, enough.
But she
All
didn't
of
tell
us.
him enough. She
No,
said
she
enough
said it to
afterwards.
herself.
What she said to him was,
I could never feel tenderness for a man who showed me such little respect.
That's why he's like, okay.
How
and
are
I
we
got
gonna move
and
on
I
from
got
that?
the moment of Darcy knows the bitch. I wouldn't marry you for the last man on earth kind of thing. I got that. You made perfectly clear how you feel about me.
Yes.
I'm sorry for I've wasted your time. I'm
Pride
done.
and
Goodbye.
prejudice. Yep,
Again, it was
yep,
the same thing where
exactly.
he's like, she's done.
She's done.
And so, he doesn't try to fight for
how
her.
Did we come back
he can't.
from that?
That is going to be a
We
challenge.
came back from In Pride and
He's
Prejudice.
gonna have to come
and
back.
It worked.
He's going to have to come back in changing. He's going to have growth, which I think he will. We've seen that he's good about kind of going away and thinking, I blundered. I made a blunder. I'm going to fix it. So we try. Excuse me, the LaCroix.
He's got a lot of work to do.
He's got a lot of work to do.
Let's put it that way. Well, at least we get our happily ever after for our darling Allison and Fraser, right?
Yes.
She goes chasing after him in the carriage, only to find that he's
because,
gone.
Because they convinced her to open the book.
Yes.
And Charlotte's like,
hello,
that's not what a friend would do.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
she's like, really?
She goes after him. He's not there. He's back at the house waiting for her. This was my favorite
So
moment.
romantic.
Everybody's listening up against the door, which everybody loved. All
Yes.
the viewers loved that.
And then, of course, they
He did the
plagiarized
sweetest
Pride and
proposal.
Prejudice with
I know.
I
was about to say that,
Sorry.
Well, he did a sweet proposal. She said, he said he could be a farmer. She said, I never thought I'd be a farmer.
Well,
That was
that's
cute.
the other thing. You know, he's not going to be with Lennox anymore. Lennox is not,
Yes.
and I think that was a huge turning point for him too, because we've said all along, why is he with this scoundrel? He's so, you know, morally correct.
Yes.
I feel like he wouldn't.
He's cutting ties with him.
He's like, I can't do that anymore.
Yes, but he asks her and she says, yes, 1,000 times yes. And I put, now where have we heard that before?
Yeah.
In my notes.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
What's that one from?
Pride and Prejudice.
There we go.
With Bingley and Jane.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, we end the episode with their wedding, but where are her family?
There were a few people that were not in attendance.
Like her parents.
The 9 other brothers and sisters.
There was one young girl.
9,
was
10,
that
I
one
don't know.
of her sisters?
I have no idea. There were
the
the parents weren't there. Nobody was there. Front and center were the Parkers, who aren't even related. They had no. It was very, very odd.
A lot of people commented.
I mean, we've joked around. Like, did they think we wouldn't notice? Or was it budget cuts? Was it COVID? I just don't know. But it was a little bit odd.
Who knows?
It was very odd.
Who
and
knows?
they said, why was Hankins doing the ceremony? She got married in Willingdon. Wouldn't their parish preacher have performed the ceremony?
You're right.
The one who baptized them and who's living in, you know, the same person who's there. So
exactly.
that was weird. And I have got to pick a bone with the hairdresser again. Charlotte's hair was absolutely atrocious. She had these weird flowers just like stuck in there like she was some islander, and her hair was just everywhere. I'm sorry, it wasn't becoming.
It's at the wedding that Charlotte drops the bombshell on all of us. She's engaged to Ralph. And when I watched it, I was like, who the hell is Ralph? I literally had to call you. Who's Ralph? And you had reminded us of the little chap from the beginning.
You know what? We could never remember his name the whole entire season, and then finally at the end, I was like, that's the guy! We finally remembered his name.
Exactly.
We knew he was going to be back. We thought he was cute, but...
And I said, oh, little Ralphie. Oh,
little
okay.
Ralphie.
And we were all just, you know...
And she was even...
Our
I mean, you
mouths
could see
just
Charlotte was
dropped.
like... She was like... you know, like, she was apologizing. And Georgiana was just like...
ashamed. Everybody was like...
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was ashamed. And I felt so bad for Ralph, who's caught in this terrible crossfire of all the people like, what have you done? And he's just like, isn't everyone happy for us? I've heard so much about you. They're like, who the hell are you? You know?
We haven't heard a thing about you.
What's that from? That's from some old woman. Who?
Oh, gosh.
Well, I don't even know.
We are all left heartbroken a second time.
Oh, dear.
Dear Sanditon fans, it looks like we shall not have to wait another year for our ATA, our happily ever after.
Look, I feel really bad for Ralph because, I'm sorry, we all know she's not going to end up with Ralph. She's going to end up with Colburn.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course. So how is she going to dump Ralph?
That is going to be bad.
I thought we
the
learned
men,
in the first season that you don't
cannot dump the women. She's going to have to dump him.
Well, she'll
and
dump
that's acceptable,
There
but I
you
just
go.
feel bad because he likes
Oh,
her.
come on. We haven't seen two words from Ralph. Who cares
could he
about
be
him?
with?
Oh, gosh. Give him to another one of her sisters.
Yes,
Now,
I
listen.
suppose.
Final thoughts on the season.
Because she's going to be jilting him just as Sydney jilted.
Oh, he'll get over it.
Please.
What are your final thoughts for this season?
I mean,
Your overall take of it. Now, we know the first season we absolutely adored.
Yes.
How do you feel about this one?
I wasn't as in love with this couple as I was with the first couple, Sydney and Charlotte. And number one, I think it's because, well, Theo was a hard act to follow. But number two, I think it's because we didn't have as much time. Personally,
Yes.
I wanted more of them. I wanted more sexual
That's
tension
why
and
I
more
feel that season
coming
3,
together.
We're going to have to focus
We're gonna
a
have
lot
to
on them.
We've
The
got to.
repairing of this relationship.
I mean, hopefully they're not going to bring in a bunch of new
learning
characters.
some of the secrets that
And it's
we
going to
have
be,
been.
yes, they can focus on them. And Ralph's going to be there. And, you know, of course, I think we've seen, like, pictures. Lady Susan's going to be coming in back to Sanditon, I think. So there's going to be some stuff. I think she brings Ralph to Sanditon.
I hope that they're going to make
I just don't know.
him more favorable in our eyes.
Yes.
Because we need some...
Stand up for yourself.
We need some good things coming from him.
Yes.
Because we've had a lot of bad taste in our mouth.
And I need to hear the story. Please give us the story of what happened with him and Lucy.
That's what I mean. I want it to
Yes.
not be his fault.
Yes.
I want it to be her fault. I want it
Yes.
to be, you know...
Yeah.
And then I can move on. Like, then I can be ready. And
I mean,
be like,
you'd think
okay.
that he would have made the story out to be favorable in his, you know, favorable on his side when he was telling Charlotte,
Right.
if that was the case. But I just don't know. Like, that's why it's just, that's going to be hard.
It is.
Because you just leave your wife there and be like, she never came back. And I just thought, I wonder what she's doing. I guess I should go.
There's kind of...
It's
Don't
just
you
too
think that the
strange.
writers will answer?
I hope. They've got to.
They
Because
must.
what's going to be redeeming about
Or
that?
do they think that none of us will notice or care as long as we get our happily ever after? I don't know.
I don't know.
Well,
But I am excited to see it because I want to see, I want what I want. I want to see the happy ending.
yes. But we want to thank all of you for watching. We hope you have enjoyed our reviews or at least gotten a good laugh out of one or two of them.
And if you have, and if you've watched, please subscribe. We need some subscribers. So please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Facebook. Like
If
our
all
videos.
10,000 of you that watched episode whatever
13,000,
would just 14,000 would subscribe, we'd be golden.
Yes.
So there you have it.
And we would do more.
Yes.
At this point, we don't know.
We're worn
We
out.
don't know what will be next.
We're worn out.
It's a lot of work.
We're thinking of Bridgerton season 2.
Perhaps.
At this point, we're worn out. We shall see, though. There are hopes.
We're happy that you've joined us for this entire season 2, and we're happy to see what comes next.
Yes.
And
we will be back for season 3.
we will be
course.
watching.
We have to finish. We're going to do reviews, dear. We have to. We can't leave our Charlotte in the final season. We'll
I'm making no promises, but hopefully we will be back.
Yes, we'll have a good respite.
We'll rest.
Yes,
hopefully everyone will be recovered. My ear's still plugged up. So.
Oh, gosh. All right. Have a lovely evening. Goodbye.
On any episode. Like, I don't even
just
know.
Follow my lead.
I hope I can. I don't remember any of this episode.
Go with the flow, dear.
I shall try.
Can I say hell?
But this is all extremely vexing. That's my go-to, Mrs. Bennett. But this is all extremely vexing.
Can I say hell?
You already did in the last episode. You said bloody hell.
Did I?
Yes, you did. Look at how long my hair has gotten. Do you remember when we first started Sanditon? My hair was
mighty
like up
have
to here.
fallen.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
What, my hair?
No, me saying hell. Oh, for God's sake.
Like, what's wrong with it?
You look fine, dear. You always look.
Lydia always looks fine.
Oh, we're good.
Mother, Leslie's tucker slipped. Lydia looks fine, Mary. Lydia always looks fine. That was totally. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, we're good. We are dang good. All right, let's go.
I feel like I'm about to. I feel like I'm wearing like a dog collar of sorts. I feel
You
like
have it so
I feel
dang
like because the clasp was broken. I got it tied in a knot.
I can see you can barely breathe.
I can barely. There, that's
There, perfect.
I felt like I had to.
Watch it fall right down your
My-
cleavage when the show. Luckily, you don't have a low one tonight, but it'll drop right down there.
Oh dear! Look, I was trying. Uh-oh, it's come undone.
What did
I was
Tabby
trying
say?
to-
That's how you know if a woman's a woman, if it goes all the way down to the ground or not.
It's
I
not
never
supposed
did.
to.
I never did become
Oh,
a woman. Mine
dear.
still goes
No,
all the
Will,
way to the ground.
You can't say.
I mean the necklace. If the necklace goes
Yes,
and falls.
I understand, dear.
I thought you meant.
No,
I
what?
was sagging, and I was going to say, I don't even have anything to sag, so that can't be the case. I'm not that old yet.
Oh, we've got to get out of here, please.
No,
We've got to
look
just
at
get
this
going.
hair. Okay, I'm ready. Go.
I hope you people appreciate this. We've not gotten paid 1 red cent, nor have you all subscribed. Blowing in the wind here. I look like I'm pregnant.
Yes, he is blowing in the wind, isn't he? Like, you can't even see his face. He's in shadow. That's all right.
All right, ready? It won't go.
God.
Rewind, damn you! There, all right. I was rolling. A lady never curses. Just remember that. That's
I'm not a lady.
James. What would James say?